Now, from the 1st of June, it will become mandatory for every financial institution, especially banks, to make available their assets declaration forms in line with the Bank Employees Declaration of Asset Act. This is the new order from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. According to the Director General of the agency, this is part of the measures meant to ensure that the country is free of financial crimes. Well, Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst Dayo Lumuwagun joins me via Skype from Abuja. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. It's my pleasure.
Right. I wonder what came to mind when you learned about this new directive by the EFCC boss.
So I think for me, the first thing that came to mind, yes, you want to say the EFCC is doing what the law has empowered them to do to fight financial crime. Clearly, none of us many of us in this country, we, like with every other crime going on in the country, we're not happy with financial crime every day. So you may want to say, yes, they are doing something. But again, when you look at it from the other side, you begin to feel how really important is this fight. And for me, it's like you're living leprosy. Then you focus your attention on ringworm, because which is more important? Who are these bank workers? Who are they? How much do they earn? Compared to your politicians, compared to even the other people that are ruling you and they have access to this money, that the law has given you power to ask to declare the asset and to do some monitoring. And I'm asking myself, how much of the sources have we recorded? With that, then coming with this. So you want bankers to be declaring the asset and all that. For me, it's full of misreaction. Are we in a draconian system? Are we in a military realm? Is it the best we can do now? When for example, you look at the economy, the unemployment rate, it's reaching the highest height in decades and all that. And we are not supporting financial crime, but I clearly think there are more other things to do. And there are better ways to even go about this fight the FCC is trying to do.
So invariably what you're saying is that you are not confident that this will even check the loopholes that the EFCC chairman is saying is trying to block, perhaps. Because he said that some of these persons are accomplices to issues of financial crime one way or the other.
You see, for me, what I'm saying is... yes, if the effective, maybe according to them, it may block some of these loopholes. But again, how have we been effective in the ones we were doing before? How many bankers are you going to monitor? We have thousands of workers of bankers in the country, and the few politicians that are under your nose, the governor, the members of this, the National Assembly, your president, your vice president, and all that. How much of a monitoring have you done with them? Nigerians got to be comfortable. You see, when a rat kills an elephant, that is a big news. But if an elephant is running after a rat to kill, nobody makes a news out of that. And I think that is exactly what my reaction to this, and I guess that may be the reaction of many Nigerians. Yes, we want financial crime to stop somehow, but what we are saying is, how much of a success have you been with this asset declaration thing? How much of a monitoring is going to, and will it just be that, just to announce something or just to let the public know that we're doing something? Yes, if they follow it through, but we look at the process again, the process that will be involved, such that, like in other areas, we will not abuse the rights of people, and because we have the powers of the law to do a few things. Again, there are some other far-reaching things we need to do. You need to feed the economy. If people are not supporting financial crime, for example, but clearly if people are unemployed for several years and your rate of unemployment is hitting the heavens, clearly people will want to go into crime. So, but if you fix it from the roots, feed the economy, let there be employment, and do whatever you can do to make the economy run, you will also be solving some of these problems simultaneously.
So if we are to talk about a holistic approach to issues of financial crimes, blocking the loopholes and tackling these issues from the root, where do we begin?
Also, again, for me, I will insist that one, you have to feed, let there be jobs. So many people are into this crime, and we are not giving excuses for crime. They're into financial crime because they have been out there, and the pressure is always there. You see, a hungry man, you can never predict what is going to do next, and the expectations from the family from all fronts is high. So get people employed, get the economy working. Let the SME and all these other the other players in the economy, let them work so that they can create at least some little jobs here and there for people. And having said that, we are not saying don't fight financial crime. So, for example, the bank. Again, for me, where are we starting from? Is it everybody that will be declaring their asset? I mean, every bank worker, as they said. So, is it every bank worker, or there will be some maybe high-level guy, the top guys up there that will be made to declare their asset? For me, it's not about whether to do it or not to do it, but is the process, is the modality of, I mean, how they're going to do it, and again, the fear of abuse, as we have seen in many, over and over again, even with the EFCC. I mean, you talk about how many people have been accused of corruption and all that, with glaring evidences and all that. How many of these have been successfully prosecuted and being jailed or being made to report something also? So it is going to, for me, a holistic thing. Is not, don't give the criminal an living environment to commit crime. Don't give them the impetus to commit crime. Make the system work. Let there be security. People want to go to the farm. People want to do other things. Let there be security. People want to walk around without fear of being kidnapped and all that. Once you solve some of these things, the multiplier effect will be so high that people who go to crime, that you will be able to spot them. You will be able to isolate them and deal with them as appropriate. It won't be this widespread thing that we have. I mean, you see many young people today, they go into this financial crime and all that because they think that is the easier way out. And the truth is, modern technology, the technology that comes out every day, may make nonsense of some of this fight we're pushing out. The critical thing is, let us freeze the economy, let the employment be there, and you can reduce some of these things.
Now, we've always spoken about interagency collaborations with dealing with even issues of bordering on insecurity, on air and on ground fight and all of it. And that is what some persons are perhaps looking at. There is no way we cannot look at the banks showing some level of support when it comes to the EFCC trying to tackle issues of financial crime. In what ways, perhaps, can the bank come in now if we are saying perhaps this is not the way to go?
Or is it the way we are pushing it now? Is it because I say how this is going to work? So I declare my asset, and 1 year along the line, you come around to ask me to declare my asset again. Who does the monitoring? Do we have the capacity to do the monitoring? Does the EFCC have the capacity to do that monitoring? Will the bank be doing the monitoring on behalf of the EFCC? And how will you even know that if my asset has increased, if my net worth has increased, I mean, vis-a-vis my earnings? That is one aside. But clearly, collaboration, yes, I agree with that. And the bank has got a role to play here. And what I'm saying is people that collaborate with a criminal, with financial crime, with the financial criminals to do their business, they are not the most junior of the people. They are not all the workers. So it is important to spot the unit or the key that where those things can happen and address it clearly. So at that level, you need a collaboration of bank. Bank clearly will help, because if the illicit fund these people get, they may not be able to get it through if someone somewhere in the bank is not supporting them. So what I'm saying is, maybe if you look at a particular unit, maybe the ICT unit or whatever they call those units in bank, or the FinCon or whatever they call them, to the people who have the capacity and who have the knowledge to be able to support these financial criminals. So if you work closely, if you do a closer monitoring with them, and getting the support from the management of the banks, the leadership of the bank, maybe that will be fine. I mean, clearly you need collaboration to be able to do this fight. But again, my emphasis is let's be careful. Let the modus operandi be clear. Let the process be clear enough such that it won't be subjected to abuse at some point.
That is the concern you have, that perhaps it can be subjected to abuse.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, now, so looking at, because you said that perhaps we are treating the symptoms and not tackling the root causes, but there are certain things that the EFCC cannot do, especially when it comes to creating jobs, but then in strengthening the agency itself, talking about such that it can carry out its duties effectively. Moving forward, understanding the fact that this government is looking at tackling anything that has to do with corruption and issues bordering on financial crime. How can the agency, on its path now, strengthen its own fight to deal with all of these issues?
So I think for me, maybe we start with, you see, the whole system is messed up. It's sad. Our country is messed up. The corruption we are saying, sometimes even it's like asking the cat to watch over your fish for you. Who is going to be more corrupt, if not the cat? So I'm saying the EFCC also, and I guess they should have this. They should also have a way of tracking corruption amidst their own staff. There should be a way, because there's no point. If you begin to pursue a case, you begin to pursue this initiative, for example, and you have people will sabotage the effort. They are also within you. So clearly, if there are no defined defined process of getting whoever is trying to sabotage the effort of the EFCC, and so it doesn't make sense. So they have to look inward. And also, I think things are getting complicated by the data technology and all that. And I'm doing a lot of training. So if they need to do more training of how to be able to track this thing, of how to be able to prosecute to the end, of the right of the right of the citizen, not how not to abuse the right while still doing their work. They need to do more of that. Such more of those training need to be. And clearly, you need to get capacity. So I'm not sure what level we are at EFCC currently with capacity. Now, if we need to get more experts, again, it's a serious fight. Crime all over the place, whether it's a financial crime or whatever, it's a serious one all over the place. So, if you need to show up your capacity, if you need to train your people more and more to be able to do their job, that would be fantastic. But again, I also think the EFCC, you see, you got to be seen to actually have the powers. There's no point. So you pick somebody, and because it's highly connected, a celebrated case, we at some point just fizzle out like that, we disappear, as though, and you won't say anything about these cases again. And some drag for years and years and years. So we have to be able to be sure the government needs to strengthen this institution such that they are independent and they can do their work without fear of favor. That we make the public, that will make Nigerians to be confident about them and to even give them support, to give them information and all that. But clearly, if these things are not there, for us, it will be like a child's play. Nigeria already, the way people see this government, the way people see government generally, and governors generally in Nigeria, is we don't believe so many things they do. We don't believe so many things they say because of the antecedent. And so you need to do a lot more. You need to allow the EFCC, strengthen the EFCC. If they need funding, give them enough funding, track the funding, and make sure it is used appropriately to strengthen their work, to strengthen them so they can do the work they need to do. Clearly, there will be need for collaboration and all that. But what we're saying is, once you show your own capacity, when we see clear independence, when we see that there's this will and there's independence, there's capacity to do it, the work become easier. People begin to trust. If they know that there are no sacred cows, people begin to trust your work, and they want to even happily work with the EFCC, provide whatever support they can do they can give to the EFCC. These things are necessary in EFCC during the fight.
All right, Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst Dayo Lumuwagun, thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
All right.